Welcome to my first YouTube video on 15 things we should thank Chinese for. It comprises of the paper we use daily, to taking us to the space. So, fasten your seatbelt before we start the video. Welcome to the YouTube channel Rein Studio, where you discover many new things. Here we ignite the inspiration to take imagination to great height. So subscribe the channel to appreciate our hard work in making videos. Number 1. Paper making. The invention of paper greatly affects human history. Paper already existed in China since 105 BC, however, a eunuch named Cai Lun made significant innovation and helped drive its widespread adoption. His advanced paper-making technology then spread to Central Asia and the world through the Silk Road. Number 2. Movable type printing. Woodblock printing was already a widely used technique in the Tang dynasty. However, this kind of printing tech was expensive and time-consuming. Until the Song dynasty, a man named Bai Sheng invented movable type printing, making it quicker and easier. He first carved individual characters on pieces of clay and then hardened them with fire. These movable type pieces were later glued to an iron plate to print a page and then broken up and redistributed for another page. This kind of printing tech rapidly spread across Europe, leading up to the Renaissance, and later all around the world. Number 3. Gunpowder. Gunpowder was invented by Chinese Taoist alchemists about 1000 AD when they tried to find a potion to gain human immortality by mixing elemental sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. It is generally believed that gunpowder spread to Europe during the Mongol expansion of 1200 to 1300 AD. The interesting fact is that Chinese used this discovery mainly for firecrackers while Europeans created cannons and guns and dominated China in the mid-1800s. Number 4. Magnetic compass. A compass is a navigational instrument that shows directions. The compass was invented by Chinese between the 2nd century BC and 1st century AD. It was first used in Feng Shui, the layout of buildings. By 1000 AD, navigational compasses were commonly used on Chinese ships, enabling them to navigate. Arab traders sailing to China might learn of the tech and brought it to the West. Number 5. Alcohol. Alcohol is known as ju in Chinese and is often used as a spiritual offerings to heaven and the earth or ancestors in ancient China. Study shows that beer with an alcoholic content of 4% to 5% was widely consumed in ancient China and was even mentioned on oracle bone inscriptions of the Shang dynasty, 1600 BC to 1046 BC. Number 6. Tea production. According to old Chinese legend, tea was first discovered by Shening, Chinese father of agriculture, around 2737 BC. In the Tang dynasty, tea became a popular drink enjoyed by all social classes. Number 7. Silk. Silk, one of the oldest fibers, originated in China as early as 6,000 years ago. The earliest evidence of silk was discovered at Yangshao culture site in Jiaxian County, Shaanxi Province, China, where a silk cocoon was found cut in half, dating back to between 4000 and 3000 BC. Chinese people mastered sophisticated silk weaving tech and closely guarded secret, and the West had to pay gold of the same weight for the silks. In ancient times, the silk was a very important item made in China, and for many centuries businessmen transported this precious item from China to the West, forming the famous Silk Road. Number 8. Umbrella. The inventions of umbrella can be traced back as early as 3,500 years ago in China. Legend has it, Lu Ban, a Chinese carpenter and inventor, created the first umbrella. Inspired by children using lotus leaves as rain shelter, he created umbrella by making a flexible framework covered by a cloth. Number 9. Iron smelting. Archaeological evidence revealed that iron smelting technology was developed in China as early as 5th century BC in the Zhou dynasty. During the Spring and Autumn and Warring States periods, China went into a flourishing period for iron smelting. In the Han Dynasty, central government monopolized the iron smelting, seeing remarkable development. Number 10. Porcelain. Porcelain is a great invention of ancient China. The earliest porcelain emerged in Shang Dynasty and matured during the Tang Dynasty. During the Song Dynasty, porcelain production technology reached an unprecedented height due to its focus on shape and the tactile experiences of the glaze. Chinese porcelain was highly prized in the world, and many artworks had been introduced to the West through the Silk Road. Number 11. Bronze. The skill of produce bronze was mastered by ancient Chinese by 1700 BC. The Shang Dynasty and Zhou dynasties brought China into the Bronze Age, and the making of bronze wares reached its peak in this period. Bronze was mainly used to make weapons, bronze tools, and ritual vessels at that time. Compared to counterparts in other regions of the world, the Chinese bronze wares stand out for their inscriptions and delicate decorative patterns. Number 12. Toothbrush. The bristle toothbrush was invented in 1498 by Chinese, who made toothbrushes with coarse horse hairs attached to bone or bamboo handles. It was later brought to the New World by Europeans. Number 13. Paper money. Paper money were first developed by the ancient Chinese, who started using folding money at the end of the 8th or beginning of the 9th century AD. Paper bills were originally used as privately issued bills of credit or exchange notes. A merchant could deposit his cash in the capital, receiving a paper exchange certificate which he could exchange for metal coins in other cities. Number 14. Kite. The kite was developed around 3,000 years ago by ancient Chinese. The earliest kites were made of wood, called muiyuan, wooden kite. In early times, kites were mainly used for military purposes such as sending a message, measuring distances, testing the wind, and signaling. Over time, kite flying developed into playthings, and kite flying is now enjoyed worldwide. Number 15. Row crop farming. In other parts of the world, farmers still scattered seed onto the fields randomly. While ancient Chinese started planting crops in rows from the 6th century BC. They planted individual seeds in rows, thus reducing seed loss and making crops grow faster and stronger. This technology was not used in the Western world until 2,200 years later. Actually, Chinese are responsible for countless inventions that have helped shape the world history. Without these inventions by the ancient Chinese, the humankind would have taken more centuries to develop to the current phase. I hope you will my video. Do you know any other influential Chinese inventions? Please share with us by adding comments below and give us more suggestions so that we will make the next video based on your topic. Till then, goodbye.